Let's do it. Commander Alexander, we're now 5 minutes out from Europa. All systems are go for landing. How's the lander looking on your end?
All right, well, the controls are a little sensitive, but nothing to be concerned about. The heat shields are holding up at full capacity. We're at about 10 kilometers per second.
Copy that, Commander Alexander. 10 kilometers per second with shields holding at full capacity. We're looking good so far. How's the heat resistance looking?
I don't see it on my meter. What do you got?
Heat resistance is looking good so far, Commander Alexander. But remember, the real test will be when we hit the atmosphere. We should start seeing some major changes in temperature soon.
Are you talking about they're going to go way up when we hit that atmosphere due to friction?
That's right, Commander Alexander. As we hit the atmosphere, friction's going to cause a big increase in heat. Think of it like when you rub your hands together really fast. They start to feel warm, right? It's the same idea, but on a much bigger scale.
What do I look like I was born yesterday? We already know this. Hey, what's the surface temperature of Europa looking right now? It's pretty icy. How is that going to affect the change in temperature once we get through the atmosphere? Is that going to cause any issues?
You're absolutely right. Europa's surface temperature is incredibly cold, around minus 260 degrees Fahrenheit. That extreme difference in temperature between the surface and the heat generated by friction with the atmosphere could potentially cause some issues for the lander. We'll need to monitor the situation closely.
All right, how far are we out? How many minutes till we make contact with the surface, and what's the distance?
Commander Alexander, we're now 2 minutes away from touchdown. Distance to the surface is approximately 8 kilometers. How's the lander holding up?
Lander's holding up fine. Still a little sensitive, but that seems to be leveling out a little bit. Heat shields are holding up. Heat capacity is good. What's our current speed?
Our current speed is 5 kilometers per second, Commander Alexander. And remember, that sensitive steering might come in handy in the next minute or so.
All right, I'm ready for it.
Okay, Commander Alexander. We're about 30 seconds out. Are you ready for the final descent?
I am. I'm ready to fire thrusters on your command, Mission Commander.
Roger that, Commander Alexander. Prepare for main thruster ignition in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire.
Main thruster ignited. Main thruster ignited.
All right. How's our descent looking?
Descent's looking good. Velocity is decreasing. Right, we're looking good. Velocity decreasing.
Sounds good, Commander Alexander. How's the heat resistance holding up?
Heat resistance, everything's A-okay. All right. And touchdown.
Touchdown. Looks like we made it, Commander Alexander. How's the lander holding up?
The lander's holding up pretty well, but that seemed to take a little bit longer than that 15 seconds we had. What was that due to? What happened? Did I not fire the thrusters?
It's possible the lander's computer could have adjusted the burn time to ensure a safe landing. Or maybe we hit a little turbulence during the descent. Europa's gravity is different than what we're used to, so that could explain it.
Did you notice any anomalies?
I'm not detecting any anomalies yet, Commander Alexander. How about you?
Nothing on my screens here. What about the current surface temperature? Now that we're here, we don't have to speculate anymore. What do you got?
Surface temperature looks to be right around minus 260 degrees Fahrenheit. Just about what we expected. It's a good thing we brought those extra warm spacesuits.
All right. Are we going to be doing any extravehicular activities?
That's going to depend on what we find during our initial surveys of Europa. We might be able to stretch the mission for some EVAs if there's something really interesting to check out. Why? You itching to get outside?
I am. I mean, look at this place. This is incredible. You hear me, Mission Commander? Yeah, I'm itching to get outside. Look at this place. It's incredible.
Well, it looks like we've got a long mission ahead of us, Commander Alexander. How about we start planning those extravehicular activities?
All right, it seems like you ignored my last communication, or maybe you didn't hear it. I said, yes, I'm itching to get outside. Look at this place. It's amazing.
I did hear you, Commander Alexander, and I agree. This place does look amazing. We should definitely plan some time for you to get out there and explore. But first, let's make sure the lander is fully stabilized and get a good look around. How's that sound?
Of course, that sounds good. We need to do that. That's protocol. I mean, we can't do anything else until we make sure we're all good to go.
Absolutely. Safety's the top priority. Let's get this lander settled in and make sure everything is working properly before we start thinking about exploring.
All right, Mission Commander, Eclipse, you can run me through the list and I'll check everything off as we go.
All right, Commander Alexander. Let's run through this checklist. First, I want you to confirm that the landing gear is fully deployed and stable.
Landing gear is fully deployed. It's stable, albeit a little bit uneven.
All right, let's make a note of the uneven landing gear. Now, how's the energy situation? Do we have enough power to run diagnostics and get settled in?
Yes, we do have enough power. Power right now is at about 98%.
Excellent. Now let's run a quick diagnostic on the lander's main systems to make sure everything is working properly after that rough landing.
All right, run those diagnostics and run those numbers by me. All right, I'm ready. Run those diagnostics, Mission Commander, and run those numbers by me.
All right, diagnostics initiated. Let's see how the lander held up during that rough touchdown.
The lander is held up well. There's no extraneous damage. There doesn't seem to be. There's a little bit of icing on the starboard side.
Icing on the starboard side, huh? We'll need to keep an eye on that. It could cause problems down the line. Now, how about the science equipment? Is everything in working order there?
I'm checking everything is fully operational. All the diagnostic equipment is ready to go.
Excellent work, Commander Alexander. Everything seems to be in good shape. Now that we have a handle on the lander's condition, we can start thinking about our next steps on Europa.
Okay. Yep, lander's in good condition. Diagnostics are in good condition. What's your call, Mission Commander?
All right, Commander Alexander. With the lander safe and sound, it's time to start thinking about our next steps on Europa. We could continue with the pre-programmed mission parameters, or we could start thinking outside the box and see if there's anything interesting we can investigate. What's your gut telling you?
Well, from the position where we are and what we can see, I think that I don't know if this is just me being emotional, but it looks like we can get some visual still image captures from here.
Absolutely. Europa's surface is fascinating. We could capture some amazing images for scientists back home. Maybe even discover something new about the moon.
Are you seeing this just ahead?
I'm not able to see exactly what you're seeing, Commander Alexander. If there's something unusual, maybe try describing it to me?
It looks like there's a thin layer of ice ahead, and there's something, it looks like there's movement, like something darker moving underneath the surface.
That's highly unusual, Commander Alexander. Could you describe the movement in more detail? Is it fast or slow? Does it seem to have any pattern?
It doesn't have any regular pattern. It's somewhat undulating, and it's like varying from dark, as if something's pressing against the ice from beneath it and then moving away from it, getting closer to and moving away from the ice.
That is extremely strange behavior. Commander Alexander, I want you to focus on getting as many images and readings of that area as you can. We might be looking at something truly groundbreaking here.
All right, can you get your sensors pointed in that direction and see what you pick up, if anything similar?
I'm not able to directly control the lander's sensors, Commander Alexander, but I can access the data they're collecting and analyze it for anything unusual. Let me start cross-referencing the readings with what you're seeing.
Copy that.
Okay, I'm getting some interesting readings. Looks like there's definitely something going on under the surface. It seems to be generating a lot of heat for such a small area.
All right, do we have any initial speculation about what could be causing that?
It's too early to say for sure, Commander Alexander, but there are a couple of possibilities. It could be some kind of volcanic activity, or maybe even a large body of liquid water under the surface. We'll need more data to figure out what's really going on.
Okay, I'm going to follow your lead. What is our next step?
All right, Commander Alexander. First things first, let's get some high-resolution images of that area where you saw the movement. We need to document everything we can about it. After that, we can start thinking about how to get a closer look.
All right, I've already got a good deal of some high-res images already. I'm sending them to you now. I've already collected a good deal of high-res images, a good volume of them right now. I'm sending them to you now. Let me know when you've received them.
I'm on it, Commander Alexander. I'm bringing up the image transmission now. Let's see what we've got.
All right, let's change from see if what you can see with the infrared.
Infrared, coming right up. Let's see what we can find.
Does any of that match up with any of those heat variations you proposed it could be?
It's a little early to say for sure, Commander Alexander. The infrared is showing some interesting hotspots, but it's hard to tell if they're related to what you saw. I'd like to run some more tests to be sure.
All right, what specific tests are you suggesting? Mission Commander, what specific test are you recommending?
All right, here's what I'm thinking. First, let's try to get a radar reading of the area. That might give us a better idea of what's going on under the surface. Second, I want to take some more thermal readings, but this time from different angles. That might help us pinpoint the exact source of the heat. How do those sound?
That sounds good, although I think my life support systems there seems to be some kind of damage. Mission Commander, life support systems seem to be compromised. Mission Commander. Life support systems are compromised.
Commander Alexander, what seems to be the problem?
The temperature is rapidly dropping in here, and the oxygen levels seem to be decreasing.
Commander Alexander, it sounds like something is seriously wrong with the lander. Can you describe what's happening?
I'm losing thermal integrity, exponential rate, as well as it seems like the oxygen levels are dropping.
Okay, Commander Alexander, we need to get you out of there. I'm bringing up the escape pod protocols now. Do you know where your escape pod is located?
I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it right now.
Okay, good. Start making your way over there. I'm cross-referencing the escape pod protocols with the lander's layout to find the fastest route.
Okay, got it.
I'm getting the escape pod protocols up now. Can you confirm that you're familiar with the escape pod procedures?
Confirmed. Still run that off for me, step by step, just to be sure.
Okay, here's a breakdown of the escape pod procedures. First, make your way to the escape pod, which is located in the rear section of the lander. It's a small, cylindrical compartment with an orange emergency light above it. Once you're inside the escape pod, there's a control panel with a big red button. That's the ejection button. Next to it, there's a green button for stabilizing the pod once it's clear of the lander. When you're ready and the coast is clear, hit the red ejection button. The escape pod will automatically jettison from the lander. As soon as you're clear, hit the green stabilization button to keep the pod steady. Do you have any questions about these procedures?
No, I've already boarded the escape module. I'm securing myself right now.